Hi friends, I wanted to come on here and record another video this time to again update you on the energies that we're moving through, given it seems to only just get wilder and wilder. And part of why I started providing videos online to help keep people in the loop in terms of what I was perceiving as the common themes within our collective is because I have a number of people that will reach out to me and ask me what is going on energetically because of what they're experiencing. And my understanding as a fellow human who is moving through all of these things is that it's really helpful to have awareness that we're not experiencing these things in isolation. And that's always been the case, but especially now as things are picking up and getting spicier and spicier. So, what I have been noticing as a common theme lately, what it seems that we are moving through, is a period of time where we are having things pushed into our conscious awareness that we didn't necessarily want there, right? So maybe like our higher self, some aspect of us wants us to know these things, but our human selves who function from fear and judgment and all of these things didn't want to look at certain things, didn't want to be aware of certain things. And let me actually turn this light off real quick. Okay. So, for example, what I have been experiencing is I have extrasensory gifts, which is magical most of the time. What is really challenging with these gifts is when you can perceive things that are more what we would deem as dark or nefarious or icky, right? And my awarenesses have been expanding to be able to perceive the darker, more nefarious things that my human mind feels less comfortable with right now. That said, I also have awareness that my being has handled facing off with a lot of darkness in this lifetime and others, and that this isn't unfamiliar, uncharted territory for me, but there's parts of me that don't want to look at those things. They don't want to pay attention to them as much because they feel ickier to my human self and more challenging to be with. Other examples of how this might be showing up in your life could include things like this. Maybe it's coming into greater awareness of the grief within you due to the state of the world or due to your own experiences, or coming to see greater truths about certain people or large groups of people around you or about humanity at large, or no longer being willing to suppress certain truths about the romantic relationship that you're in, or maybe it's the whole path that you've been on with your life, right? And these can be really challenging truths to be with. All of those are truths that I've had to come to terms with previously as I walked up until this point, and I know we each have our own paths, and I understand that my path has helped me become more able to accept truths that can be really challenging for us to be with, right? So if we lean more on the side of being not wanting to admit that certain things exist in the world, not wanting to look at certain parts of ourselves, not wanting to acknowledge certain truths that would mean big disruption in our lives, this time might be especially challenging for you. And I also want to acknowledge that this isn't new, right? We've been in this type of energy that's getting what feels like more and more pressurized for years, right? And it's mostly that we are in, I'm not sure how this specific phase is energetically different. What I notice is the themes that are coming out of it, right? And the themes are everyone around me is seeing deeper truths, and they are truths that, you know, some are moving through truths about themselves, like I said, or the world around us, or circumstances they're in, relationships, careers, life paths, whatever it is. And the theme is that these are really challenging truths for each person to be with for their own reasons, right? And so in this phase, what I would really encourage is really being gentle with yourself and really focusing on allowing, not allowing everything. We want boundaries still, right? But allowing these truths to come into our conscious awareness so that we can evolve. Suppressing truth doesn't make that truth go away. It just means that we're making decisions with less information. We're choosing where we go next with less information at hand. So the more we can allow whatever information is wanting to come into your awareness to do so, the better off we'll be. It just got very dark in here. I have a big glass double doors in front of me, so normally it's pretty bright. And really honoring your heart too. So I know that for a lot of us, this phase is really heavy on the heart. And it can feel like whatever's coming into our conscious awareness gives us this feeling of hopelessness, because it's just so much to look at, that how can I look at that and hold hope? And I want to encourage you to stretch yourself, to shift out of ways of seeing things and into a new way of seeing things that allows for this understanding that you're never going, in this current phase that we're in, you're coming into greater truth while understanding that there's likely even greater truths that you're not yet in contact with. And surrendering into this state of not needing to have your mind be in control of what happens next, or of trying to figure out how you ensure that what comes next is what you want. And surrender into a knowing that you have the awareness that is here with you right now. And then you have your higher self, which has a tremendously expanded version of awareness of your truths, of what you truly desire to experience. And surrendering into trust in the path that your higher self has chosen for you. Trusting that, I know a lot of us have mother and father wounds, but in the same way that an unconditionally loving parent would choose the best possible path for their child, unconditionally loving, not a parent that's trying to make their child into what they want them to be, right? Like a truly unconditionally loving parent would want enough challenge for that child to learn and grow, while also wanting that child to experience love, joy, abundance, all of the things that any truly loving parent would want for their child, right? Start thinking about your higher self as that. They're not going to throw you under the bus unless throwing you under the bus truly serves your path, your evolution. We've been trained to focus on the bad. We turn on news and it's all, for the most part, upsetting, depressing things. Our nervous system has been largely society-wide stuck in fight or flight, which kind of strips us of the magic that is meant to exist in our experience here. So be gentle with yourself. Remember also that everyone around you is moving through this also. Some people are going to fight it more, and they might end up what you might call cranky or overwhelmed or stressed. And they might take it out on other people, right? So as you move through the world, and there's also going to be people that don't understand what's happening. They're freaked out and they think something's wrong with them, and they might not want to speak about what's going on because they're terrified of people finding out that, like, they're broken, they're effed, they're, insert whatever it would be here. So as we're moving through the world, remembering to not take the behaviors and actions of others personally. I know that can feel like a challenging thing, but taking it personally is only making things more challenging for you and creating more conflict and drama. What I would instead encourage is, if somebody says or does something that triggers a part of you, first of all, have boundaries, right? And boundaries doesn't have to mean like shaming them for their behavior. It can just be like, here's my boundary, like I'm good here, Not taking things personally, having boundaries. Remembering the whole saying of everyone is fighting their own battles that you have no idea about. Giving them grace. But I'm also not encouraging you to focus on the outside world right now. I'm encouraging you to not get wrapped up in drama with the outside world, and to really primarily focus on what's moving through you. What can you allow into your conscious awareness that you might be resisting? Knowing that at first, when we see a new truth, it can feel really dark and challenging. But as we integrate it, it becomes empowering. Like I said, if we're making decisions with less data, our decisions are more prone to not actually be in our best interest, right? Or however we want to say that. Now, the ideal is allowing our higher self to guide us, having this almost like blind faith. It is essentially like a blind faith where we're just wide open, willing to have our higher self guide us, and just allowing ourselves to be pulled wherever we're meant to be pulled, and showing up and expressing in full authentic expression of ourselves. But for those that are not there yet, as most of us are not there yet, remembering that you can reassure the mind that this is beneficial for the mind and its desires as well. And I'm referring to the mind that wants to try to control. We're trying to release that, but right now there's so much going on that if you need to reassure your mind, hey man, this is actually going to help you. You want more data to be able to make better decisions, and that's what we're doing here. As much as you can come into contact with your heart right now, allowing yourself to feel the feelings that are coming up as a result of whatever it is that's coming into your conscious awareness right now for you to be present with. And sometimes, so say right now how you're experiencing this whole situation that we're in energetically. Say you're experiencing it as just a general discomfort, not at ease, not content with anything, just you feel like, ugh, like just something's off, right? I would encourage you to maybe lay on the bed, maybe lay outside, and really just breathe and allow yourself to be fully present with any and all sensations in your physical body or your energy field, and just focusing on softening and opening and just allowing anything that may want to come into your conscious awareness to do so, giving it permission, reminding yourself that you're safe. All of these can be helpful things. As always, I would really recommend getting your feet on the ground. I would really recommend sunlight on your eyeballs. If you can jump in the ocean, amazing. If you can take a salt bath, great. If you can do breath work to move some energy, beautiful. If you can do a period of meditation to bring quiet, stilling the monkey mind to allow more space for what wants to come through, that would be beautiful. Please remember to nourish your vessels, stay hydrated, and I'm sure there will be another video soon. My next video may actually be a joint video with my love Jo, in which we talk about what it is that we've found in terms of ways of navigating romantic partnership that are a drastic departure from what we had ever experienced before. And I have no doubt that he and I were meant to have every experience that we had up until this time to see what didn't work and to become open enough and trusting enough in something higher than ourselves to finally be willing to navigate partnership in the way that we have begun navigating partnership. So I could speak on this myself, but I wanted to have him there as well, given he can speak to some of the things that can be more prevalent for someone who embodies a masculine physical embodiment. And we might dive into some of the wounds that happen on both the feminine and the masculine side and how those can manifest in the dynamic of partnerships and what things we have come to find helpful in terms of moving away from outdated patterns when it comes to romantic partnership. Things that, societally we're taught, like that's just what relationships are. And come to find out, I don't think that's true. So we would love to have you join us for that one. We'll be recording it in probably the next week or two, depending on our schedules. We're trying to find a good day where we have enough time and space to do this. And then tomorrow, for anyone that would like to join, I have a virtual women's circle Please drop a comment on here if you want information. I can see if I'm able to drop information for my Instagram so that you all can go on there to get more information or message me. But for now, if you want to drop a comment down below in this video, I can do my best to get you the right information. So I'm sending so much love to all of you. Please be patient with yourselves, give yourselves grace, be gentle with yourselves, be gentle with other people. Don't forget about boundaries. And yeah, you've got this. This is a beautiful period, even though it feels challenging to us. And surrender is the name of the game.